What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on? It's bringing you the news like I do. Black Ops 3. It was announced. Are you surprised? I mean, okay, here's a couple things. A bunch of YouTubers who probably get paid by Activision, who probably get paid to promote the Call of Duty franchise through a viral campaign Snapchat ad. Yeah, we get it. They're going to lead you on, and, really nobody cares about single player anyway. Nobody really cares about that. But, it's a viral campaign. And the last video I posted showed there's a nuke going off, and obviously the ones that are constantly talking about the Snapchat are obviously the ones that are getting paid by Activision to tell you not to look at every little thing, and we're going to keep leading you on all the way to April 26th, which is supposed to be the Black Ops 3 Call of Duty reveal. How convenient. 2 weeks after the Star Wars reveal, April 17th. It pretty much is going to come down to this. Either you're going to play Black Ops 3 or Star Wars. If you're a first-person shooter fan, that's probably what you'll do. I'm going to play Mortal Kombat X as well. So anyways, moving right along. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I did show you the nuke. There's tons and tons of more. The complete story is in the number 5 Snapchat. If you follow me on Twitter, I just showed you the whole thing. And the multiplayer has already been leaked out. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Just the idea, the methodology, the philosophy of Black Ops 3 and what you can expect to see. Now, somebody said that they leaked the art where the guy's like this and he's got the cyborg arms or whatever. Some people are saying, oh, it's not an exosuit. Yeah, whatever. We get it. We understand. The story probably goes like this. The guy gets blown up by a nuclear missile or somebody gets damaged. They turn him into like a cybernetic cyborg type guy. The word out is that Black Ops 3 is nothing more than a different version of Titanfall. And in the beginning, when Titanfall was dropped, everybody was saying that, oh, Titanfall would be a great game if it didn't have Titans in it. And if it just had the characters in it. And that was the big story out at the time. So somebody had leaked the story. There's a video, there's some stories on Reddit, and there's a guy who's actually talked about it, talked about the game in depth. And it goes like this. Here's how it goes. The idea behind the Black Ops 3 game is that your character is going to be somewhat cybernetic in the fact that he has special abilities, post-apocalyptic, future, and the maps are going to be Halo-esque, meaning that they took parts of Halo, they took parts of Titanfall, and they just somehow crammed Call of Duty in it. And it's going to go something like this. In order to traverse the maps, you're going to have to be able to wall run, and through wall running, you're going to have to boost over certain areas. So it's not about learning the guns. The idea this time that Treyarch is trying to be innovative is to learn the map and understand how to traverse and get around, your familiarity with the map. So the learning curve on Black Ops 3 is going to be, do you have the ability to understand how to wall run, boost over an area, and then turn over here and wall run and get to where and fight the enemy in a certain area and move around without Titans, obviously. But so that's the gist of the game. So you're You're going to jump, boost over an area. Now, if you miss a jump or a wall run or a boost, they penalize you by dying. So, and so now, instead of the game being difficult with perks, weapons, and to that effect, you're going to have to learn how to manage a map. And so that means instead of learning the Call of Duty game all over again, you're going to have to learn the maps. And so that means that people who already know how to use the weapons and everything like that, who don't have the time to learn the game, are going to be subject to learning the map. So you already know the game, I guess, in the weapons. You're going to have to learn the map and know you're going to have to be comfortable with the map. If you fall, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to die. You're going to fall down and die a lot. So here's my response to this new multiplayer style game coming out. And going back to the point where I was talking about the guy who did the 2.5-hour video. At one point in the video, he said that David Vonderhaar took Hastro, and he's like a pro gamer, and he took Hastro and they helped design the Black Ops 2 game. That game was specifically designed for MLG players. And so in understanding that, a couple things in why I feel the way I feel and how I think what's going to happen to Black Ops 3 is that David Vonderhaar never took anybody from the social community to help design the game. You know, they never really took anybody from the regular community to say, hey, let's design this game how the normal person likes to play the game and enjoy it. Instead, they're trying to make this game a more intricate game for the pro player. So now, not only are you going to alienate the community by it not being a World at War II game, a classic military first-person shooter, not only are you going to alienate every single Black Ops 2 player that plays 100,000 every single day, because now they're not going to play. If they are going to if they have to traverse a map, and if they get punished by death, they're not going to play that game. And then on top of that, it's like you're making this game undercover, exclusive for esports players. So it's kind of like you're cutting off the last of the Call of Duty community that plays your game. And if you go back to Black Ops 1 to this point, I looked at the financial statements of Call of Duty. It's like down like $500 million. They got a 0.7% growth in the game. And so it's all going in the wrong direction. If anything, this game should have been zombies. And here's the proof of all this. I mean, before I go off on a 50 different tangent. But zombies shouldn't have never been included into Call of Duty. It should have been its own IP. And the reason it should have been its own IP, and proving that, is that why Destiny is its own IP, and why Guitar Hero is going to come out to bail out Activision for their 0.7% growth, for their $500 million in loss, for them claiming Destiny was going to be the next billion-dollar game. If you would have... Call of Duty is the bread and butter of the franchise, according to shareholders. And having zombies is now, it's almost like the title says Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and then after that it says none of these titles relate to this game. It should Treyarch should have just made a zombies game and just got out of multiplayer. Because now zombies gave David Vonderhaar and Treyarch so much power to make the multiplayer game. It's led that series into a spiral it cannot get out of. And so now all they got to rely on is the zombies, and it's just going to be a big mess. I mean, you look at it and you think about it, and all the leaks that you hear about, it's like David Reinhardt and Treyarch, it's like Wes and Zampella left, and they're still copying them. After they left and are at EA creating Titanfall, they still can't come up with their own ideas and innovation. They have to copy him. And realistically, when I think about what Zampella did, I mean, it's like he knew that they were going to copy him, so he made a troll game called Titanfall, and it just to make a point to say, that's how terrible you are. You went out of your way to copy me, and I purposely made a bad game, and you copied it. And now you're going to fail because it's not innovative. All you're doing is you think that esports is going to save you? Nate Shot, hold on, wait a second. Excuse me. I got an announcement to make. Nate Shot quit. You think anybody's going to be watching Call of Duty esports? I mean, Nate Shot, he barely carried that esports scene. But now that he's gone, what does Treyarch really have? Nobody's going to be watching your esports gameplay. You painted yourself into the corner by totally alienating the total population of the community who plays Call of Duty. And I don't want to hear this excuse about, oh, there's older people and they want to get the newer and younger generation. That makes zero sense. You're doing $1.45 billion with Black Ops 1. It included everybody. Isn't that the point of a video game? Is for everybody to have fun. Look at Minecraft. Isn't that the point? I mean, the young community is going to play it regardless, one way or the other. Esports are going to make their own tournaments, one way, regardless, with or without your esports included into it. But you cannot give back the core casual community by totally, completely alienating them. You can't do it. You cannot make this game that way and that way and this way. You can't have two different games inside that game. And then, if it wasn't for the unauthorized development or zombies, you wouldn't be where you are now. You used that game. That's why Wes and Zampella got fired, because they knew at the end of the day that zombies was going to ruin Call of Duty. And it did. Because zombies gave Treyarch so much power that they're making ridiculous Call of Duty games that have nothing to do with the initial idea of the premise of methodology of Call of Duty in the first place, which is a military first-person shooter classic game. It's retarded what they are doing. It has gotten so ridiculous. They got Call of Duty title, which everybody ignores now. It's like a Battlefield title. It's just irrelevant. And then now they've moved on to a Black Ops title. Ooh, they play Black Ops 100,000 people every single day. We better slap that Black Ops 3 title on there. And now the game you got coming out with difficulty maps, wall running, falling down, you die. And let's be honest here. And on top of all of that, when you completely just going to totally alienate the rest of the casual community who supports this game. Newsflash. Without casual community people buying your game, your studio does not exist. Why do you think they got Destiny and bringing back Guitar Hero? Their dividends and they went from 1.4 billion to 800 million. I mean, that's right there. You can't. It's not a lie. Go look it up yourself. 0.7% growth rate. And that's only because they bought their own stock back. Really, that stock shouldn't even be $20. It should be like $11. And then somebody said that Black Ops 3 is going to sell more than Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. No, it's not. Once people see the trailer, and they better hope they do not show them boosting around and all that other dumbass shit, because nobody's going to buy the game. Just do yourself a favor. Just show zombies on the trailer. Don't even show any weapons, anybody boosting, sliding around. I mean, I'm sure this is how, somebody was telling me that Vaughn put in the boost move, and it's only to traverse the map, and you can't strafe when you boost. So it's useless. And just like when Vaughn put the dolphin dive in the game, you get killed when you do it. It makes zero sense. All it does is stop you from going from standing to prone immediately. So you could drop shot people. So now if a sniper sees you, you're dead. Instantaneously, you have no shot in the world. All you can do is boost up, but you can't shoot. So when you come down or you can't go left or right or whatever, you're dead. You're going to get sniped. So you're going to have exo or cybernetic boosting or whatever cyborg who sucks at boosting like a terrible exosuit, cybernetics, and then you're going to have overpowered snipers because Vaughn, he is a pushover into sniper community. He just bends over for them. And then the underlayment of the whole Call of Duty game is, ooh, let's watch these pro players traverse the map. Ooh, they're so awesome. I love watching it because they dissect the game like nobody else. I mean, please. I mean, you don't even give anybody else in the community a chance to come down to the studio or the millions and millions of Call of Duty videos that were made. I mean, is it too much? I mean, I guess you just can't go watch all those videos. So if you just funnel the game down to what 500 pro players play like, then you probably understand the game more. But nobody else can because they can't relate to it. So therefore, nobody's going to buy it. End of story. Bad idea. And the reason why it's a bad idea, and there's so much power given to Vaughn, because of zombies. You know, if it wasn't for zombies and Mark Lemia going behind the backs of Infinity Ward and developing that game and tricking the development, the Activision CEOs, and, ooh, this is such an awesome game, how much fun you're going to have. You should have just, okay, it was a great idea, then you should have just moved it onto its own IP. It should have never been included into the metagame. Then you had, when that happened, you had the other studio heads. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't find their identity in the metagame. And when you're struggling to find your identity in your metagame to match the zombies game, then the core of your game struggles. You see the domino effect there? It shouldn't even be part of that. I mean, like, Infinity Ward was in terrible crises. They had like buddy system thing going on, and then he moved to aliens, and it was terrible. I mean, you cannot put a bad face on an awesome franchise. You had zombies, which was a great idea. This should have been carried over to Infinity Ward 2. They should have gave that to them, and that should have been carried over. When you sit there and you don't give zombies to an Infinity Ward game, if you're going to do that with a metagame, it's a total black eye, and it tarnishes the brand of the game. So it was so many bad moves that were made on this series. And when Black Ops 3 comes out, there's going to be a big surprise. Black Ops 2 community is not going to play this game because it's not a classic military first-person shooter. Snipers cannot kill people because people are going to be jumping around, wall running, so they're not going to like it because they can't kill people and get clips.
They're gonna get clipped, man.
So they're not going to like it. And nobody likes Halo. Stop trying to make a Halo game. Don't you understand that Microsoft has deeper pockets than anybody, and that game was pushed. The same thing with Gears of War and Halo. That game was pushed because Microsoft had money and shoved it in our faces. I never liked the games. I thought they were terrible. You know, and so you stop copying bad games. And then you got trolled by Vince. You got trolled by Vince in Titanfall. What we're going to see happen is it's going to come out on the 26th, and we're going to better not show any guns or nothing. You better just show guys from this up top just talking about single player and hide it. Hide it as long as you can. That's my advice to you because, and here's my advice to the CEO of Activision. Hurry up and make a backup plan and do HD remix of all the older classic Call of Duty and drop that stuff on February because that's the only thing that is going to bridge you and save you. You better have like 2 versions of the Call of Duty being made by Infinity Ward because your guys are in trouble. Because if Star Wars is any good on the 17th, it's over. It's over. You guys, I mean, if somebody comes along and makes a decent for everybody to play classic military first-person shooter on console, Call of Duty is like gonna be like non-existent. That franchise is gonna be shut down like Guitar Hero. They don't even make that game anymore. All those 3 studios will be put into one. Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer will be like dismembered. Well, I mean, Treyarch will probably save it. I mean, at the end, I mean, they're probably gonna save themselves with just making zombies. I mean, realistically speaking, you should just look at a Treyarch game and say it's a single-player game with multiplayer shouldn't count. Because they don't care about nobody but,
Let's look at these 100 people who play at traverse our map.
I mean, I can just see that's what Bond's whole thing is going to be like.
It's not about boosting and exosuits. It's about traversing the map. See, my whole idea is that if you fall down, you're going to die. And he understands the map better than the other pro players. And that's the way we're going to design this game. So you're going to have like bionic arms and bionic legs, and then at the end, you'd be like, we'll go ahead and give these guys the invincible berserk mode. So when you take on the form of a wolf, and you got wolf powers, or you could pick, there's 3 different types of animals. You could pick the wolf, the crow, or something, and you can turn into a crow or some shit. Who knows? You're going to be the invincible crow power, where you can do like Beastmaster, you fucking throw birds up, and you can fly and see through their eyes or some shit. It's just going to be something retarded like that, let's be honest. And I don't have no hope for Black Ops 3, to be honest with you. The game's already been leaked out there for multiplayer. You can look around, find it yourself. I'm not going to put no links in this thing, but I told you what it's going to be, so go back, watch the video more than once, whatever. That's my rant for today. I think if anything, people are just going to buy Black Ops 3 for the single player and zombies. I mean, if Star Wars, and here's another thing. Star Wars is going to be pushed by Warner Brothers, going to have way more money, way more hype, way better commercials behind it, and this is going to be a much more hype of a game. If they have an opportunity of a lifetime with Warner Brothers pushing so hard to make this Star Wars series pop off, that if they can make a Star Wars game that looks good, man, they got it made in the shade. They don't even have to pay for advertising because everybody's going to be on that hype train. Like, oh, did you guys play that awesome Star Wars game made by EA on the new Xbox, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Man, Call of Duty painted itself in the corner. So, that's my rant. I don't think Black Ops 3 is going to do that well. It might sell for like I said, it might sell for not multiplayer, but zombies and single player. But I think once we see this video, they better not show like any weapons or suits or any type of movement. Because we're gonna dissect that video like that. And the fact that these guys aren't dissecting the Snapchat, I've seen so much stuff these guys don't even cover. If you want to see everything that I talk about on the Snapchat, come on my Twitter. I just dissect everything. But the whole story's already in there. So anyways, I'm out. Peace. Later.